So karma yoga definitely is going to give me chitta shuddhi. That will result in polishing of this equipment, right? But still, these impurities are there. So what do I have to do further? I have to put effort through sadhana to discipline this mind, right? So this sadhana, in what forms can I do? So the scriptures tell us yajna, dana, tapa, vrata, tirtha, japa. So when we say yajna, again, what is yajna? This is same as, it is not just the havan that we do. So this yajna that we are saying, or the sacrifice that we are saying, is what? Is in the form of worship to the Lord. How? This worship to the Lord is by serving its people. Whatever I do it to my 100%. Right? I do my best and I leave the rest. So, not just at the place of puja, but also in my duties towards the world, right? Be it my family, be it my country, be it the world at large. I think of this world as Vasudeva Kutumbakam. And more with that, when I say Vasudeva Kutumbakam, what it means is that I see this as one inclusive place where I am not the only one, but everything that is there in it has this spirit of oneness. And why is that? Because not only is that consciousness which is enlivening me, which is giving me the ability to think, to appreciate his creation, this creation, it is that which is also present in all beings in this creation, right? Be they animate or inanimate, be they chara or achara. So all of that is his glory alone. So instead of, seeing that name and form, I see it as that Bhagwan alone, right? And I serve him, right? So therefore, whatever work I do as service to the Lord of Lords, right? Service to the people is the service to the Lord of Lords. Then when you say dana, right? So dana is what? Normally when we say that we are doing dana, so this ego somewhere feels that, I am that giver, right? But here we have to say that we have to have that humility when we are doing that dana, right? It is like, when we do the shraddha karma, people say, wait, sometimes that crow has to be fed. And no matter what, you have kept the best of, best quality rice, etc. over there, but sometimes that crow will not come also. But then you will say that, but why is this happening? And then somewhere you will see in the side, somewhere someone else has kept, but that crow came and went and took it and went, right? So where has to be that purity? The purity should be here, in that humility when I am giving, saying that I am not the data, I am but the person who has been given sufficient so that I can give the world. And when I give more, I will also get more. So even the person who is giving should have the humility that someone has come to take that bhiksha. Without that bhikshuk, I cannot give this dana also, right? So when I do dana, that humility has to be factored in. Then when we say tapa, what is the tapa going to give? Tapa is going to, tapa doesn't mean that, I go sit or stand with, my hands folded up and one leg up, and then for years together I will do chanting. No. Whatever practice I take as sadhana, I do it with single pointed focus. Like Swami Taponji Maharaj, the guru of Swami Chinmayananji, he used to say that this, what grihasthas are given, that life, right? Performing that nitya karma, that duty, by offering it to the Lord, keeping that Lord in mind at all times, that itself is tapa. That we do it with that bhavana, where we give our 100% to it, right, without any complaints. Fine, this has come to me, I have to do it, right? But I need not complain. Why is it cold? Why is it too hot? Right? अरे why is this food, प्रसाद के लिए बनाया, क्यों उसमें तीखा ज्यादा डाला? But it has come as prasad, so let's have it, right? Or whatever work has come. So this titiksha has to be there, right? And this titiksha will come out of what? Out of that maturity, right? That bhava of acceptance should be there in all we do. So without expectation, when we do this, then what happens? Then we are doing that tapa in the right way, where we are not getting agitated. Because the moment we insist, the moment we complain, what are we doing? We are expressing our displeasure. And when we are expressing our displeasure, what are we doing? We are going away from our true nature of completeness, where there is no fulfillment required, where there is only that oneness. So, what am I doing? I am just becoming that restless mind. And our sadhana is what? Our sadhana is to be that mind which is at ease. So, that is the tapa. And so too is this vrata. Vrata is what? Doing some upvas or keeping up our positivity, right? And how do I keep up this positivity? That I have to decide what kind of sadhana I can do, what kind of vrata that I can do, so that keeps me closer to my goal of being sama and not be agitated, right? Otherwise, what happens? Sometimes we do some upasana, etc., like doing upavasa. And then what happens? Oh God, today I am doing upvas, so I am not going to eat. So that whole thought is so all consuming that it might result in some kind of anger, right? Whereas that is not the objective of doing this upvas. Upvas means what? Staying close to that Lord. Upavasa, staying close to that higher, right? So when I am taking up vrata, I have to keep in mind what is the attitude with which I am performing it, right? So this is vrata. So having that endurance, that willpower of disciplining this mind. So too, sometimes we say that I will do monam. But what happens? And monam is so that we quieten that inner chatter and not just our external chatter, right? So what should we first do on that mona? The new form of mona should be that I will switch off my phone for a day and keep it aside. Not just for a day, I should choose times in the day when I can quieten that mind by keeping aside that phone, and focusing on whatever work is at hand. Then there is what? Then there is tirtha. Now, tirtha is a beautiful concept which is brought into our culture, where we say that we do pilgrimage. And not just in Indian culture, it is there in all cultures, right? All religions provide this kind of a space where we say that for this much time, I will go to this pavan place, right? Pavan place where means some place where I will go away from my normal routine and be in that higher thought. Okay. So when we say this, then what should we not do? There has to be some discipline even to that. When I'm doing travel, oh, I will go from flight to here to there. Then I will, there are cars arranged, there are cooks there. So I will eat good this food, that food, and then I will go for darshan. And I have got VIP darshan. So I will. So what happens? Where is that objective of tirtha? Right? So tirtha also, when we say tirtha, it need not be that I physically go and move somewhere, right? Of course, that physical going to any place, such as the, Sangam of rivers, or such as going to Kashi, etc., that has its own energy, right? But it should not agitate me. It should be something that I do so that I come out of my routine and I keep my mind only in this Bhagavad chanting, right? Bhagavad Smarana. That is all I have to do. And that for that I can go and sit, in some place and do, listen to the Bhagavatam or do some good study in solitude, right? So what am I doing in Tirtha? I am seeking nobility through satsanga, be it outside satsanga, but more importantly, satsang with my thoughts, where I maintain one train of thoughts and those are directed towards that higher. Then what other or highest sadhana is there is this japa. What is japa? Japa is maintaining one steady stream of thought. One steady stream of thought mane, you will say that, Are, I have got a steady stream of thought, it just doesn't stop only. Yes, that does, but where is that going? It is directed outside. But what we have to do is, when we take this japa, right, we have to keep it steadily centered on that Bhagwan, right? And that will bring that single pointed focus, and that will also result in purity. Because right now, how is our mind? It's like this. From one thought, it is going to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. It is carrying us away. But what do we want to do? We want that Bhagwan to be our chariot, Lord Krishna to be our charioteer, and take us to that one realm of that Brahman alone. Right? So japa can and is a powerful means to do that for us. Right? So next level is what? Is dhyana. Right? And when will that dhyana come about? When I have not just trained my instrument, but I have also seen to it that I have done enough of self-inquiry. Self-inquiry mane kya? That is that chitta shodhanam. Chitta shodhanam means what? Chitta shodhanam is that I seek that highest, and that is through that jnana marga. So as we say, nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitram iha vidyate. There is no greater purifier than knowledge. And when we say knowledge here, it means that path of self-inquiry or that jnana marga, right? But how will it come about? Tat swayam yoga samsiddhim kalenatmani vindate. Right? That will come to us when we are purified and able to retain that knowledge. Otherwise, what will happen? We will only get karana shuddhi. I am going and listening to that satsang only, right? My ears are getting purified. My karana shuddhi happens. And then later what? Later I am so much drawn to my work. There's so much business, etc. So no, right? What has to happen parallelly? The sadhana has to happen, and with that the knowledge also has to come about. And with that only the steady japa will also happen when our mind is focused on that one ishta, right? And then what? Then so when the mind is purified, when there is chitta shuddhi through karma yoga, through upasana, there is single pointedness, chitta ekagrata. Then what? Then the desires will become less, because that one desire for that highest becomes strongest. So we have to do what? We have to make that one desire or that one vasana for that highest strong. We have to make that prabal, so that the mind is not any longer wavering towards objects, but wavering to go only to that higher. So when it is going towards the higher, there is no wavering. There is only that single pointedness, right? But for that, efforts are required. So for that, those efforts, how long do I do it? Satu dirgha kala nairantarya Sadkara Asevita Tuda Bhumihi. Right? So Dirgha Kala, continuous, right? Nairantarya, without any breaks, without any gaps. It doesn't mean that I started today and I will do it after 1 month when I again remember. No. I will schedule that satsang. No. Once a year I'm going for a camp. No. Daily. You have to bring it into your thought. Only then that desire or that vasana for that big will become a strong imprint and will consciously, day and night, when I rise up, when I'm going to bed, it will come to me. Who am I doing all this for? For that Lord. Who is this karma phaladata? Who has made it so that this consciousness is alert to it, right? And therefore, when this happens with a lot of devotion, then asevitaha, then what will happen? It will become strong and result in a brahmakara vritti. Instead of a vishayakara vritti, it will transform into a brahmakara vritti that will take root in within us. And thus what will happen? No longer that mind is going to go outward, right? It is not, then I don't have to keep minding the mind, right? Because no longer that mind will get prominence, the mind will become shanta, right? That mind will become Shiva, auspicious. Shantam, Shivam, Advaitam, right? That is what we are seeking, right? So then that mind itself will identify with that end goal that I am seeking, right? So is this very difficult, right? I have got so, then Bhagwan, even our Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya ji, he in this Panduranga Ashtakam, he says, he gives the anecdote of Vithal Maharaj. He is standing like this. He's standing with his hands on his waist and he is telling that I am waiting for you. You come. Whereas the Bhakta is saying that, hey Bhagwan, I am in this river and this river is separating me from you. How do I come to you, Bhagwan? I don't know. It looks so impossible. I am so, impure. How will I reach you? So he says, Bhagwan is saying that I am standing on the banks waiting for you. You come. That water that you are thinking, that impurity that you are thinking, it is only knee deep. So just cross over and you can come to me, right? So why do we say, right, our culture again, what is said is that go and Ganga nahao. If what for what? For clearing all your papa. Papa udhav pariduyata, right? Get rid of your papas. How? Go to Tirtha, go to those Sangam, take a dip and let go of your sins. So what is actually they are telling? Is it an actual removal of this impurity? No. What it is saying is that Jnana Ganga which is there, which is ever pure, how will it come to me? When I keep myself immersed in it. When I keep going towards it, immersed in it, right? Knowing what? This impurity of the mind is only skin deep. But I have to cross over from that. I have to drop it. And I say, okay, right now anger came. Let me use it. Let me use it well. But let me not get disturbed with it. Right? If lobha came, right? Greed came. So why did it come? Oh, it came because I thought of myself first and I thought of everything else behind. Doesn't matter. Change the mode of thinking, change the perspective. Let me do my best for everyone's benefit, not just keeping my benefit in mind. Right? So, this sankalpa that I am doing right now, I have to change it from selfish desires to selfless desires. Right? For the benefit of all. And thus, when I function, what will happen? Slowly the impurities will vanish. I have to just change the perspective. So point is that we want to go from where? From minding the mind all the time, this exercise will have to be done, right? And at the same time, at the next level, when the mind becomes quieter, what has to be done? It has to be engaged in that dhyana of single pointedness, where we take up that sakshi bhava. And later, when again it becomes thinner, that mind becomes even more thinner, then what happens? And slowly, sahaja samadhi comes about. And everywhere I go, what do? Yatra yatra manoyati tatra tatra samadhaya. Wherever I go, wherever this mind goes, it stops going outward. It just sees everywhere that Lord's hand alone. It sees that consciousness alone in everything. Right? So definitely there is going to be that improvement in all of us, but we have to constantly Satu Nairantaryan. I mean, constantly, we have to put efforts towards that purification, right? And this, how will it come about? Through Guru Bhakti. So, where is Bina ye Jnana kahare manava? Guru Bina, there is no dheya. This dheya also, this journey alone is meaningless, right? So when we develop that Guru Bhakti and let that Guru guide us in this journey to that ultimate, then we will be not just allowing our mind to guide us, but our Guru, who will then transform into our intellect, guide us to that Bhagwan who is waiting for us. So shall we conclude now? Thank you everyone for coming. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु।